The Department of Justice says it will appeal the court ruling that ended the CDC's transportation mask mandate if the CDC says it is still necessary. NBC News correspondent Tom Costello joins us from outside the Union train station in Washington. Tom, good morning.
Yeah, you know it well. Good morning to you. Listen, we see most cities across the country are dropping the mask mandate, Washington, D.C. included. New York City, notably, still keeping the mask mandate in place in public transportation areas. And we have talked to people in bus stations, train stations, and airports nationwide, and many are saying this mask has kept them healthy for the last 2 years. They don't want to drop it yet. For better or worse, after 14 months of a federal transportation mask order,
feel free to exercise your freedom this morning.
This morning, the country is at a pandemic turning point.
I'd prefer not to wear the mask if I don't have to, so I'm glad that it's dropped.
For millions of travelers, it's reason to celebrate.
I think it's great, yeah. I think everyone's ready. I think it's about time.
But others are worried about a new COVID variant spreading fast, with 2,600 deaths just last week.
Coronavirus is really spreading, and I just feel safer around people with masks.
In Houston, transit crews have removed their mask up to ride signs, while New York remains the largest city holdout, still requiring facial coverings on trains, buses, and taxis.
Can we continue to encourage New Yorkers to wear masks if they're in an environment where it's unknown the status of the persons or individuals they are around?
But nationally, Uber and Lyft are dropping the mask.
I might still wear mine, but if the passengers don't want to wear it, I'm not, I'm okay with it.
But the patchwork of changing rules is still causing confusion in some places. In Philadelphia, for example, you can fly on a plane unmasked, but in the airport terminal, mask goes back on. Take the subway or an Uber, mask can come off, but go grab dinner or do some shopping in the city, mask up again. A Trump-appointed federal judge struck down the federal mandate, ruling it exceeded the CDC's authority. The White House COVID response coordinator, Dr. Ashish Jha, tweeting, CDC scientists had asked for 15 days to make a more data-driven, durable decision. We should have given it to them. Health experts remain concerned about the immunocompromised and children under 5 who aren't yet vaccinated.
Is this the type of precedence we want to set, that the CDC can be undermined by a federal judge in Florida? Is that the type of precedence here? I think that is terrible precedence.
That's precisely the issue. That's the issue, and that's why justice may appeal if the CDC believes that the mask mandate is still important. However, justice will likely not go for a stay. And the issue here, Joe, as you know better than I, being an attorney, they are concerned about precedent, that a federal judge in Florida could, in fact, keep the CDC from, in the future, enacting public health initiatives in the event of another health emergency or a pandemic. Joe?
Well, Tom, that's a great point. I want to ask you about the people you talked to in a second, because it's just fascinating what you saw, and I'll tell you what I saw flying into a red state yesterday. But you're so right. The thing is, the CDC, if they don't have the authority to do this during a pandemic, when do they have the authority to do it? So just because I am a lawyer, I think justice should appeal it, despite the fact, at the end of the day, they may go ahead and continue to waive the mask mandate, but you certainly don't want a single federal judge in Florida making that decision for you. So I think the appeal makes sense. That said, again, going back to just what I saw yesterday, I was shocked by how many masks I saw. I thought a lot of people were going to tear them off and run through the airport free. But I will tell you, in a red state, I would say 75% of people wearing masks in the airport, about 80% on the plane. I was really surprised. What about you?
Exactly. Now, listen, Washington, D.C., of course, is a more mask-friendly city to begin with. You go into any restaurant here, you go into the mall, the airport, people are more likely to be masked up anyway. Yesterday at the airport, I would say only 25-30% of the people were going without masks. But I had a lot of people saying, I haven't even had a cold for the last 2 years, thanks to the mask. So why would I now take a chance when you've still got a COVID variant? And if I am going to fly, especially long distance, going to Europe, for example, and I'm talking about myself, I'm definitely going to wear the mask. I don't think there's any reason not to. So often I've gotten off of one of those long haul flights, and within a couple of days, I've got the sniffles, I've got a cold. cold, something's going on, I think I'm going to go mask up from now on.
Yeah, you know, I think again, it's situational, and there have been a lot of. You've done great pieces. I've read a lot of great articles that talk about. Good time to do it is when you're getting on and off the plane. Good time to do it is when you're at the gate and there are a lot of crowded people there. It is situational, but I agree with you. I had my first flu, in 2 years, about a week ago, and I was like, man, I forgot how much I hate that. So, yeah, when you're in confined spaces, and I think you're right, especially if you're flying overseas, the mask makes a ton of sense. NBC's Tom Costello, as always, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And coming up...